All right, everybody. So today I want to talk about clear double standards going on TikTok right now. Um, I could tell you about it for hours and hours and hours, but I think I would rather show you than to tell you. Um, Only problem is my account is currently on free mode because I can't afford the monthly payment right now. I'm in between a rock and a hard place right now. But I'm feeling pretty defeated lately. Lately, I've been dealing with a lot of hypocritical community guidelines on TikTok, where I'm finding that the rules apply for everybody except for they apply for me, but not for they. Okay? What I mean by that is simply these rules apply to white people, but not to anybody else. They don't apply to white women. They don't apply to white liberals. They don't apply to white. Um, they don't apply to anybody except for white men. Now, racism is literally against community guidelines. It literally speaks that community guidelines speak against racism. So today I was on TikTok and I came across many lives, where there was clear racism brought upon me. And TikTok really didn't say anything about it. Now, I think that I could tell you about it, but I think I'm going to show you as opposed to telling you about it. Let's show you. So be patient with me here. Let me email the first one. Okay. Let's check the email program. Let's see if we got it. I'm going to email it to myself. So one of the items we got is looking for it. So I saved it earlier. Okay, there it is. All right. So this creator, let's see if we can't zoom in a little bit. So Mr. In the Belly of the Whale, okay, the debate topic, this was a woman. This was a woman. In the Belly of the Whale, her debate topic was, why are you afraid of black liberation? Okay. So, in this debate, in this woman's debate, we discussed, I jumped in, it was a live stream. I was swiping through, it's a live stream, and I came across it, and I thought, why not join? Let me show you again. So it was, why are you afraid of black liberation? Okay. So I joined and I wanted to discuss it, and I simply said, Can you please explain to me what black liberation means so I can debate it properly? And she went on to say something about it's a system, it's a systematic, I don't know. She just jargon, just went on and on and on about how white people are the problem. And she also got even more racist and made the claim that because I am white, my whiteness is the problem. Being born white is because I'm white. I'm participating in white supremacy. That was her claim. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I've heard some racist ass things, and that, my friends, was really racist. It doesn't take an expert to know that what she did, what she said, was clearly racist, and there's no getting away. There's no getting around that. It was racist. There's no getting around it. You can deny it all you want. But what she's about to say, which I'm trying to get this video sent. I don't know what mail drop means. I figured this out. Control A. What does mail drop mean? Example. Okay. So I'm trying to get this video going to my mail. There it is. Is that it? I think we got it. Yep.
Okay, something we need to just amongst ourselves. We can solve our own.
Okay, so that is the other lie. Okay, that is one of the problem videos, but that is not the video of the woman. So we mail drop that one. What we need is the mail drop of this one. Okay, we want mail. Okay, we're working on it. Hey everybody, bear with me. We're gonna get this. We're gonna share these things. Mail drop. Okay. There it is. Okay, we got it. Okay, so we got the image. Downloading this. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So we found it. All right, so we're going to present the video. Okay. All right.
You are a part of the system by existing. The system existed before you. You were not polite. You're a passive-aggressive little bitch. Go ahead, Phil. I'm sorry.
No, you're perfectly fine. I was going to mention, like, even if you were to take it to individual levels, we just look at how he benefits from these systems because he earns more on average compared to a black man and even much more than a black woman, right? So these are forms of racism that he benefits from. Also medical racism, structural biases within like architecture and stuff when it comes to like areas, which is why we have things like food deserts and such. So areas that are typically more likely to be like black or brown areas going to have more frequent food deserts than compared to white populated areas.
All right, so I want you guys to unpack that. Okay, I'm going to play the first couple seconds of it. Now, before I play it, I want you guys to remember what this lady said. What her live said was, "Why are you afraid of black liberation?" And, this is her username, by the way. Let's zoom in a little bit. It is in the belly of the whale, sensitive art to choke. I don't know. But, anyways, long story short, that's her username. Now, her live said, "Why are you afraid of black liberation?" So this is an open panel. This is a public debate. I joined it just to discuss because I like debating. So it didn't say blacks only. It didn't say that whites aren't welcome. It didn't say none of that. So when I joined, I asked her very respectfully. I said, "Can you please explain to me what you mean?" Hold on. I said, "Can you please explain to me what you mean by 'Are you afraid of black liberation?'" Okay. And she went on to say that she went on to say it's systematic, racism is systematic, oppression is systematic. I don't remember her exact words, but she pretty much said a lot. And I want you to listen when I said, because my response to everything she said was simply white or oppression happens at the top. It doesn't happen at the bottom. It's an individual problem. It's not a individual problem. It's not people at the bottom of the food chain. It's not the mediocre, modern, poor, average, median earn people that are doing this oppression. It's the people at the top. No one alive today is responsible for what happened in the past. No one alive today is participated in slavery. To blame white people for something that happened 300 years ago is really delusional. But again, I want you to hear what her response was within the first 2 seconds, okay?
So trying to reduce it to like this idea of like class, and
Yeah.
because you are.
Let's go back.
You are a part of the system by existing. The system existed before you.
Let's hear that again.
You are a part of the system by existing.
Okay, so I'm supposed to apologize for breathing? I'm supposed to apologize for living? Could you imagine what would happen in reverse if a white person said that to a black person? Would TikTok keep that live up or would they shut it down? I mean, I just want you to analyze it. Comment. Let's hear it. Let's hear your thoughts. What would you think TikTok would do if it happened in reverse? Would TikTok keep it up? Would TikTok show no violation when that live is reported, even though there was a screen recording that I sent in that said,
the system existed before you. You were not. You are a part of the system by existing.
Again, am I supposed to apologize for breathing? I don't think so. But let's go on to the next. Okay, let's go on to the next. The next problem that we had came from where is it? Oh, I guess I haven't. Let's see. Documents. Downloads. Oh, I guess I haven't got it downloaded yet. I know I screen shared it. Videos. All. Yeah, this is for that girl. Oh, it's too big of a file. Okay. That's funny. Video file.
Okay, some things we need to just keep amongst.
Okay, so this creator, the background said, what would Martin Luther King and Malcolm X have to say about modern black women? Okay. And I did a little research while I was waiting my turn, and I didn't hit screen record when I should have, when I had the chance to, when I had a point to, kind of apply what I was saying. But as soon as the racism started, I hit record and I sent the report into TikTok again. TikTok did nothing about it. They found no violation again. And what was this debate about? They said, what would Malcolm X and Martin Luther King think about modern black women? Okay, I did some research and I went into a little deep dive. And one thing I found with a little help of my buddy ChatGPT, which is a research assistant. It's not a source, it's a research assistant. People get that twisted. Now, I may not be intelligent like Jordan Peterson, but at least I have a good research assistant that helps me find things quickly and on the fly. So while I was waiting my turn to speak, I found that one thing that, with a little help of ChatGPT, it said that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Here, I'll just read it to you. Let me just bring this up. I'll read it exactly as it says. Oh, shoot, I must have closed it. Let me bring that chat back up. So it was Malcolm X. So this is what I said. I said, if you could talk, what I asked ChatGPT was, while I was waiting my turn, I said, a debate topic I'm currently in asked what would Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, would they be proud or disappointed in modern women? I'm curious of what the data might say to answer this, okay? So the response that it found, the good paragraph I asked it to make up, so it didn't sound like a monolith, but it still made a large paragraph, was that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would likely have mixed reactions to modern black women. Now, it put on a large diatribe, so during the debate, when it was my turn to speak, I said, what I believe is that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would be both happy and disappointed with modern women. And they said, what do you mean by happy? Well, I said, I believe that Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would be happy about black women because they have more education opportunities now than they've ever had before. I believe they would be happy because Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would be happy about their employment, their college, their education, their business, that modern black women would make Malcolm X and MLK in that regard. But where Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would not be happy is they would not be happy at modern black women because Modern black women don't care about the nuclear family. They care about selfish gains. They care about what is important to them, not what is important to society, not what is important to their lineage, not what is important to what their grandparents and parents wanted them to do, which is to create family and create a good path for their children. So I believe Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would be disappointed in modern black women because they don't take the nuclear family serious, which was respectful. It was unbiased. It was my opinion with the help of ChatGPT giving me its insight on what the data says, what they believe Martin Luther King and MLK would feel about modern black women. Nowhere in my response was I rude. Nowhere in my response was I racist, biased, prejudiced, hateful, or anything like that. And what did I get in response for giving a logical, truthful, and my own personal addition to what their debate was? This, after they dropped me for no reason, with no reason to drop me, this is what they said.
Self, we can solve our own issues without outside input. Okay, some things we need to just keep amongst ourselves. We can solve our own issues without outside input. I'll put it like that.
Exactly.
Nomad, welcome up, bro.
Thank you for.
We don't try to tell you how to run your Triple K meeting. So
I want you to hear that again, okay? Listen closer. I don't know how to turn this up, what they're saying. I'm trying to figure out how to turn their volume up louder. But I don't know. But I want you to hear that again. Keep in mind, I was never racist, never biased, never hateful. I just gave an honest input of what the backdrop said. And this is what I got in response.
Thank you for.
we don't try to tell you how to run your Triple K meeting. So don't try to tell us how to have our own discussions amongst ourselves.
Now, keep in mind, I never told them how to do anything. I was just participating in a live that they welcomed me in, that they accepted me in, that I was giving an honest opinion on. And if that happened in reverse, it wouldn't go down as quickly as it was. And what happened when I reported this to TikTok for racism, for hatred, for the decision was, the thing said bias, prejudice, I don't remember, hateful, whatever. I can't remember because right off the top of my head, but TikTok came back later with the decision that they found no violation. Now, do you think there would have been no violation had a white person had done that to a black person? I don't think so. Racist has rules, and those rules need to apply to everyone, not just some people. The rules should apply to everyone, but they don't. The rules apply to those that make them money. That's it. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They only care about white men because TikTok apparently hates white people. It apparently hates white people because it allows racism towards white people. And I'm not just speaking out of my ass. I'm going to play the first one first and the second one second. Listen.
The system existed before you. You were not polite. You are a part of the system by existing.
Okay. So I'm supposed to apologize for living, for breathing, just because I'm white. And that's not racism. Okay. Let's play the second one. Okay. Second
Go ahead,
live
Nomad.
Yeah.
within
What
20
would
minutes.
ML
Got to show you how to run your Triple K meeting. So
thank you for
we don't try to show you how to run your Triple K meeting. So don't try to tell us how to have our own discussions amongst ourselves.
facts.
Go ahead.
Okay. So either it's a public debate or it's not. You can't have a public debate and treat people like dog shit when you welcome them in. Respect their opinion or don't allow them in. It's that simple. The second creator went on to say, are you a black man? My response was no. Obviously, I'm sure my profile shows what race I am. He goes, are you married to a black woman? I said, no, I'm not married to a black woman. And he goes, well, here's the thing. Because you're white, because you're not black, because you're not married to a black woman, you have no right to speak on this. Actually, I do. Because I can collect the data. I can analyze the data. I can analyze everything Martin Luther King and Malcolm X ever wanted for society. And nowhere did either one of them say that they hated the white man, that the white man shouldn't be, or that blacks and whites should never be friends, never be a part of society. I'm pretty sure Martin Luther King said that he wanted let me I had it in my brain, but I'm just blown away at the shit that I just shared with you. Okay, Martin Luther King said his dream that his dream was racial equality, people of all races living together with equal rights and opportunities. Okay? End of segregation. Okay? I'm pretty sure these black content creators are segregating their own lives for only black people. But their background did not say blacks only. You see the point? Okay? He also said his most famous line expressed hope that his children would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Okay? That was Martin Luther King's belief. That's what he dreamed. That's what he wanted. I believe by answering this guy's prompt, I was open, I was honest, I was not racist, and I was not biased. I was very thorough. I was logical. I told the truth. And apparently people don't like the truth. But I'm not going to dumb it down. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to just avoid participation when they're being racist to white people. Because if it was the other way around, they wouldn't stay silent either. I'm going to end the live because I know I don't have very many viewers. And give me time. I'm back into it. I'll create more content. I'll get more better at, I'll pay my subscription so I can put better stuff on the background and be able to share better content and get guests. I'd like to get some guests, and I probably can get some guests right now. If anybody wants to talk about some of the stuff that I was talking about, just let me know. DM me, comment on this video, share the video, share the live, like the video. But anything you want to say on, I really want people's opinions on what I shared today, because what I shared today is very important. It's very important that people realize that TikTok community guidelines are very thorough. They're very clear. Now I'm going to see if I can't share it. Okay, let's try that. Let's see if I can find the guidelines. Community guidelines on racism. Okay. Let's see what the guidelines have to say about racism. Let's see. Presentation. Share screen. Share screen. Select window. Let's see. Entire screen. Okay. All right. So, TikTok community guidelines. Let's see. Let's put this aside. All right. So, let's see if we can make this the main screen. Okay. All right. Anyways, what it says is TikTok community guidelines strictly prohibit content that promotes racism, hate, speech, or discrimination based on race, ethnicity, or protected attributes. Prohibited content includes attacks, dehumanizing speech, promoting supremacy, or using slurs, with violations resulting in content removal or account bans. The platform aims to foster a safe, inclusive environment by tackling hateful ideologies and harmful stereotypes. Okay, well, let's find out what happens when I report TikTok community guidelines violations on what happens when someone is going against community guidelines. And let's see what TikTok does when the violations I report. Because I don't know how to pull it up on, yeah, here we go. Pre-order messages. These are not the report. Let's see. Transaction message live. No. I don't use the laptop very often. So finding the, let's see, support. Let's see. Let's see. Support tickets. Pretty sure it's in here. Nope. Oh, I'm gonna find it. See, that's where I'm confused because on the TikTok Studio Creative so start mode settings, it'll be under settings. Nope. Nope. Anyways, long story short, TikTok came back with all the reports. Here, let's just go. Let's just come back here to this. Let's remove presentation. I'll just read it off my phone. Okay. When I reported the live and I reported the racism that was clearly there, that wasn't even really that hard to find on the phone, of course. Said reviewing your report, and we review and take action if there's a violation. It said we reviewed the live you reported and found that it doesn't violate our community guidelines, and the only other option is to delete the report. The first live I reported, same thing. We found that your report said there was no violation, no violation, no violation. They were racist to me multiple times, and I think if it were to happen, which I would never be racist. That's not my argument. My argument is, if it's wrong for one, it should be wrong for everyone. Don't you agree? I'd love to hear from everyone. Please get back to me. Let's talk about this. And I think if anybody else agrees that racism is wrong, no matter what the color of the skin of the person is, racism is wrong, no matter who is doing it. Remember that. But please comment. Let's talk about this. Let's hear your thoughts. Please. I want to hear from you. Have a good day.